Okay, I'm here with Chris Murphy, running for 5th District against Nancy Johnson.
That's right.
Can you tell me a little something about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm the Democratic candidate for the 5th District. It's 41 towns, stretching all the way from Meriden and New Britain out through 84, Waterbury to Danbury up into Litchfield County. Right now, I'm a state senator, and I represent Waterbury, Wolcott, Cheshire, and Southington up there. And I chair the Health Committee. So I've been in the legislature for about 8 years, and I focused a lot of my work up there on environmental issues. I got a real belief that we're not doing enough to clean up our air and our water, that we're leaving an environment that's going to pollute the water and the air that our kids are going to breathe. I do a lot of work on environmental protection issues, and I do a lot of work on healthcare. I have a real disagreement with our healthcare system as we have it today. Right now, you can get healthcare as long as you can afford it. To me, healthcare shouldn't be a privilege available only to those people who have enough money to buy it. It should be a right. And I've tried to do some work in the state legislature to make healthcare more expansive, get it to more people, and try to make it cheaper. By doing that, you got to take on some of these drug companies, insurance companies, who we've been able to win some victories against. So that's who I am. Listen, I mean, I'm new to politics. I'm 32 years old. I've only been in for 8 years. I hope that I still got some idealistic bones in my body to think that government has to know where it works and where it doesn't work, but where it works, I think it can do some good things for people, and that's been my philosophy in my short time in office, and that's why I'm running for Congress at some level.
Where do you think Nancy Johnson has failed the 5th District in terms of meeting our needs?
Well, Nancy Johnson's not representing the people of 5th District anymore. She's representing her Republican friends, right-wing Republican friends down in Congress. A great example is the federal government Congress passed a budget, the 2006 budget. This is a terrible budget. It cuts student loans, it cuts funding for elderly health care, for children's health care, all in order to give a huge $100 billion tax cut away to the super wealthy. All this tax cut goes to the richest 0.3%. Now, there were vigils outside of Nancy Johnson's office telling her to vote against this terrible budget. To support the working people, support the working class, and Nancy got pressure from her Republican friends down in Washington, and she voted with them instead of voting with people back up here. So, the real problem with Nancy Johnson is that she is part of this Republican Congress that has just broken down. I mean, they're not doing anything about gas prices. They're not doing anything to fix this healthcare system, and they're just backing George Bush up at every turn. At every turn. You won't hear Nancy Johnson say one coarse word about this president, and that just stands exactly opposite to the views of the people of this district. She's got to come back here and start representing us rather than representing her friends and her special interest friends down in Washington.
You talked about health care. We know that there was a new health care plan enacted that Nancy Johnson had something to do with. How do you feel about that health care plan and her contribution towards that plan?
Well, she will run around the district and tell you that she was the author of the Medicare prescription drug program, and you know what? She's right. She was the author of that plan. Unfortunately, that thing benefits drug companies and insurance companies and is way too expensive and way too confusing for senior citizens. In Connecticut, you got to choose between 44 different plans, and it's now going to cost 3 times as much as they told us initially. It's now going to cost all of us taxpayers $1.2 trillion. Why? Because the drug companies are making a lot of money off of it, and the insurance companies are making a lot of money off of it. I got a plan to fix this. It's on my website, murphyforcongress.org. We'll bring the Medicare program back into Medicaid back into Medicare instead of 44 different programs. We'll have 6 or 7 different programs, and we can cut down the cost for all of us so that we don't have to borrow and borrow and tax in the future in order to pay for this program. And then I say this: we should absolutely have prescription drug coverage under Medicare, but we should do it right, and that's why I think we should reform this thing as soon as possible.
Another issue that's happening in the 5th District that to me for Danbury means a lot to me is transportation. 84 is horrible.
Absolutely.
Anybody driving between Danbury and, let's say, Waterbury knows there's a lot of congestion, and we feel that the governor and people in Congress care more about Interstate 91 and 95, and we seem to be neglected the people who drive up and down 84. What could you do to help us out if you were in Washington?
Well, you know, I represent right now a really important stretch of 84. I represent Waterbury, Woolkit, Southington, and Cheshire, where there's some massive renovations going on there that have frankly taken too long. But we got to understand that, you know, the way to get to New York is not just 95, it's 84. And, you know, the goods that are going to travel in this new economy from New York to Boston, frankly, aren't going to go 95 to 91. They're going to go up 684, across 84, and up to the Mass Pike. So that the 84 corridor, I think, is really the salvation to the economic cul-de-sac that we've got ourselves here in Connecticut. So when I get to Congress, I am absolutely pushed to put more money in to expand the road system up here, to expand mass transit as well. I mean, this isn't just about building roads. This is about building some busways and putting additional cars on the Danbury and Waterbury rail lines. We've got to open up the lines of transportation, because this is really, I think, how Connecticut gets opened up. Not by just expanding 95, but by opening up 84, we can really revitalize this economy.
Let's say I'm an undecided voter, I don't know anything about you. How can I find more information about you? Should I go to the website? Should I come to the meetings?
Yeah.
What should I do?
Two things. Go to the website, murphyforcongress.org. On there you'll find our phone number, our email. Listen, we are a user-friendly campaign. I mean, I'm an outsider, right? I mean, I'm a 32-year-old guy running against a 25-year incumbent. We want all the help we can. I am personally willing to sit down with people in, you know, as small a group as you have, talk to you about whatever's on your mind. We really want to be a campaign that invites people to be part not only of helping us, volunteering for us, but helping us form our message. You know, I'm not taking what I'm talking about from polls and focus groups, right? I'm taking what I should be talking about in festivals like this, just going table to table, hearing what's on people's mind. When people call the campaign, you know, I want to talk to them, I want to hear what's on their mind. And I really encourage people to get in contact with us and be part of what I think is going to be a great old-fashioned campaign. You know, we'll have money to go up on the air and do TV commercials, but we're going to win this campaign because we're going door to door. We're going to run a different kind of campaign, not just this media-driven campaign, this poll-driven campaign. We're going to go person to person, neighbor to neighbor, house to house, and win this thing. And I need everybody's help to do that.
Okay, Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot.